How do you market yourself during the COVID-19 crisis if you're a cafe? Well, number one, delivery. Delivery is going to be your bread and butter, because there is a huge problem. Customers are really hesitant about leaving their house at the moment. And so with that, you need to go to the customer, and that is where delivery needs to be the key component of your business if you are a food outlet. First thing you can do is have an option for consistent delivery. So that just means that, say someone you know doesn't have a coffee machine and you know that they love their coffee Monday to Friday, you can ask them if they would like to have their order placed every morning Monday to Friday and it be delivered to them. That way that you can do it in bulk and secure your customer for more orders with you. Similar to the first point, buying X amount up front. So people can buy, you know, maybe 4 bowls up front, and then they can have that delivered at any time that they please, as long as their name is on a list. So just getting more incentive for the customer to go and buy what they want in advance. This next one is in bold, and it's in bold for a reason. Food and drink combos. This is going to be key in your delivery to make sure that it is very simple and that you are upselling effectively. So for example, you could have a local cafe have for breakfast bacon and egg McMuffin and a coffee. Or you could have banana bread and a coffee. Have different combinations of foods and make it very simple for the customer. This is always very good as well when you tie it in with a promotional offer. So one of my favorite things that I have seen so far during this crisis has been through Guzman, where they have done a promotional offer on their burritos to make them $9.80, and they also offer free delivery as well. So what that has done for me is that means that instead of getting no burritos, I've actually gotten 2 burritos in the last fortnight, just due to the fact that they lowered it by about $1.20, just that little bit lower. Actually, I think it might have been a bit more than that, but they have really nailed it. From a promotional offer, I think another thing that they could do is have a good combo going that makes it even more worthwhile for customers to be upsold a drink or something like that. Now, it's always ideal to have delivery be in your own hands, so you're not handing over some of your margins to third-party companies. So that could be having something set up on your website to take different bookings, or whether people call you, or whether they can text. Always exhausting those cheaper options is what I recommend first. And then after that, definitely look into some different third-party places. I know that their margins are big. I know when you look at Uber Eats and their margins are big, but cash flow is king for you right now. Also get their traffic source of people who may not have been your regular customers, who will then go and buy from you because you are on that app. The next one here is to simplify your food menu. Now, the reason why I say this is that you are going to want to reduce your waste as much as possible. Like I said before, cash flow is king here, and so it's time for you to audit all of your produce and what produces the most amount of waste, and to figure out how you can minimize the amount of food that you are buying to cook, and then this should really help you out by simplifying your menu. The second point here is to leverage your local customers. Now, these guys, they want to help. These guys really want to help. This is a your local customers are going to be your biggest advocates and your biggest word of mouth players here. So the first thing that I would say to get a lot of reach into your area and to get a lot of word of mouth into your area is to do Facebook and Instagram ads in your local area. Now, because it is just in your local area, it's actually very cheap to get out the message in that area, because there's not a lot of population that you need to reach before you sort of spend your budget. A big important key component of this is that your creative is very strong and your call to action is very strong and clear as well. Your imagery and your video needs to be attractive, and then as well as that, your offer or what you are, I guess, giving to that customer needs to be worthwhile for them as well. Next one is Google Ads. Now, depending on where your service is based, this could be really beneficial for you, and there could be quite sufficient search volume for what you're doing. However, if you do have a tiny search volume or a very tiny population, this may not get the search volume that you are needing, but definitely look into Google Ads, as that's where people are actually searching for what they're looking for. The next thing here, my writing's getting a little bit smaller here, but it is to be collaborating with other businesses. And what I mean by that is actually getting you guys involved in a community-based offering. So for example, you could have use code LOCAL to get 10% off from any of these stores. Now, what you're doing there is actually building together a community you know, type feel and type family amongst the community, which is a really net positive thing. What you're doing as well is you're also being able to obtain the traffic sources from these other businesses who will also be promoting this offer. A big third one here is to use hyper-local influencers. First thing I would recommend is to exhaust your network and to think, you know, who already comes into the cafe that, you know, may have a social media presence, and reach out to them and then sort of extend your way out to a cold ask. But using influencers in the area will be a great way to use their traffic source to inform their community, who are likely in the same sort of area or demographic, about your business and what's actually going on and how you're still available to conduct your services. All you have to do is ask, but I'm sure that they would be happy to help your local business, especially if they are a local themselves. They will completely understand. This fourth one here is huge. It is emphasizing hygiene. It is super important that you are upfront and you are transparent with all of your customers about what you're doing for your hygiene regime. Now, I know that a lot of businesses have already gotten out this communication, but it doesn't stop with your email and it doesn't stop with your text. It is super important that you are doing this, especially if you are doing a takeaway service. You need to be empowering your staff about this, because if your staff are not not emphasizing good hygiene or encouraging good hygiene whilst in the workplace, and your customers are there waiting for their orders and they're seeing that proper hygiene is not in place, they will likely not return, and so you are therefore losing your returning customers. Number 5 should have been number 2, takeaway. Huge one. There is a big opportunity still here for takeaway whilst people are still out and accepting takeaway orders. Now, there are different things you can do. So it's actually great that this is probably number 5, because I've listed for you a whole bunch of different things that you can do from delivery in number 1. For example, you could be writing down the address and the numbers of every single person that orders takeaway, and then asking them if there's ever a day that they would like it delivered, because chances are they're not going to be out every single day. And then in that case, you have their address and their details on file and you can actually deliver it to them. Got a bit excited here, but as you can see, remember their name. So this is a really important time to be remembering their order, remember their name. Don't serve, but actually get to know your customers during this time. They are feeling just as overwhelmed and just as startled as you are. The next thing here is to upsell. Now, this is a huge time. If you're in takeaway here, it is the best time for you to use your best sales skills and to upsell your products. If someone orders a coffee, ask if they would like a banana bread or a small treat on the side. If someone orders a burger, ask them if they want some chips and a drink on the side. It is such a crucial time that you are upselling everything that you have in the cafe at all times, whether it be from a small coffee to a regular to a large, and to offering free delivery to those that all of a sudden aren't coming anymore, and having those sorts of strategies in place. Finally, sending my love. This is a really difficult time for many people, and cafes included. This is a difficult time for you, so my heart is with you. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Happy to answer. Take care.